I'm Inri.
I'm Elisa.
I'm Jeremy. And I'm Brian.
So it's quite obvious that we have a YouTube channel right here. That's why you're able to watch this video right now. So our purpose of having this YouTube channel is to promote ourselves and to share about what's happening in our church.
So today, for Mother's Day, we will actually.
It's Parents' Day.
Right. My bad. Parents' Day. Yeah. So for Parents' Day, we're actually going to be interviewing some of the kids and some of the parents of Manam Vision Gospel Center, and we'll be asking them a few questions regarding their parents/kids. And if you do like this video, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel and please comment down feedbacks to improve our video. Thank you. And moving on.
Hi. We're going to ask you one question, okay? So, what is the one thing that you appreciate the most about your mom? You gotta go first.
A few moments later.
When she prepares food and bought something I like, I feel grateful and happy. When I need help, she always help me and cheer me up.
Okay, today, what about you?
She take care of me when I'm sick.
True. Okay, thank you very much.
Daniel, what's the one thing you like or you appreciate most about your mom?
She sent me to school.
She sent you to school. Does she cook for you? Yeah. Is it
She
nice?
play with me.
Yeah, she play with you every day. Does she teach you homework?
Homework.
Or you are smart enough to do?
But the homework is not a lot. But when I go to standard 2, maybe I got homework.
Oh. So she spend with you every day? Spend time? Do you like her? What do you want to say to her? What do you want to say to
I
her?
love the flower.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hi, Kelvin.
Hi.
What's the one thing you appreciate most about your mom or dad?
One thing I appreciate most about my parents is showing me that unconditional love and also their constant support for me.
So it's like when you do wrong thing, they will still support you.
Yeah, I mean in a way to correct me.
That's very good.
Hi. Hi, so I'm here to just ask you one question. What is the one thing that you appreciate the most about your mom or dad?
What do you most appreciate about my mom? I think she is a wonder woman. She's a super woman because she can do everything like cooking, everything stuff. Even though she don't know how to drive, but she will like walk, go to the shop to do anything she can.
I see. I understand. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Uncle Lin. So today I'll be asking you a few questions for a video we're making for Parents' Day.
Okay.
And one of the questions is, what is one thing that you appreciate most about your mom or your dad? You can choose either one.
Oh, okay. I think like most mother, my mother is a person who is very dedicated and as most parent, mom does is they always his children. Even at this age, they always look at us as their children.
Yeah.
So she's very particular in what we eat, right? And even just before she passed away recently, she always cook and send food to me in KL. That's one thing. She's very particular. And she is also a very disciplinarian when we were young those days.
Yeah.
I think because whenever we doesn't do well in our study, we will get caning. This is something that she's very particular about studies.
Yeah.
And being a Christian herself, I think we are brought up as a Christian family, and all my siblings are all Christian. I think that is we have a very good start from a young age under her strict guidance.
Yeah, because she set a good foundation for all of you.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Hi, Uncle Craig.
Hello.
Today we'll be interviewing you for Parents' Day.
Great.
And here's one question for you. What is the most memorable or unforgettable memory you have with your parent or your child? You can choose either or you can choose both.
Okay. Let me start with my parents. I think I come from a very traditional Chinese family. Both my parents came from China. And so you would appreciate, I think, that the traditional way of the Chinese family is the father goes out to work to bring the money, the mother takes care of the home. So that's the sort of family that Uncle Greg comes from. One of the most unforgettable instances I can remember in my family, in my relationship with my parents, was a time when I was going to live for studies overseas for the first time. For the first time ever. I've never gone overseas, never boarded a plane, and this was now like a journey where I was going to leave them. And they looked at me, I looked at them. I can't quite remember whether I hugged my mother or not. But it was a time when you can see that, you know, the love for me and the labor that they put in to enable me to go overseas could be seen in their eyes. To appreciate the depth of what I am trying to say, my father actually lost his father, my grandfather, who was killed in a typhoon when he was still very young. I think when he was 6 years or so, if I'm not mistaken. And at the age of 13, he came over to Malaya at that time to begin a new journey in his life. So as far as educational opportunities were concerned, very minimal, very basic. And my father was very much a self-taught person. Mother also came from China, and she was a devoted wife and a good mother in all respects. But father was sometimes, in fact, a lot of times outstationed, and I hardly ever see my father during the year, except for a couple of times in the year. So naturally, the mother, my mother, had a closer bonding to all of us in the family than the father. But you know, I really, really appreciate the sacrifices that they made to build us up, to enable us to have a proper education, and for some of us to go and have a tertiary education. So that time, the point in time when we were at the airport and I saw my parents was a very, very memorable time for me.
Hi, Uncle Steven. So I'm going to ask you a question today for our Parents' Day video. Okay, so what is the most memorable or unforgettable memory with your parent or your children?
I will talk about my mother because she's always with us, whereas my father was a businessman and he's always out of the house.
Yeah.
One of the things I remember most about my mother is that she is very particular about cleanliness and tidiness and good behavior amongst us children. The other thing I remember about my mother is that she's a fantastic cook. And my father passed away very early. And my mother sort of single-handedly raised us up, you know, and so she has that resilience, that never give up kind of attitude. And that is something I appreciate about my mother. And I remember her for what she had done for us children.
Yeah. So you mentioned your mom is a good cook, right? Yeah. Give me something that she cooked that you really miss.
She is a fantastic cook.
Delicious.
I can tell you. She can just whip up some simple dishes, but she knows and always cook dishes that each one of us love. I like to eat, the fish. She stuffed chili inside. Yeah. That's her cooking is fantastic. The other one, I cannot forget her style. You know, this what we call hon chai or chai choi. Her style to me is the best. Yeah. And now that she has gone, my younger brother had sort of picked up how to cook it, and I would rate my brother as probably about 95% of what my mom used to be.
Can
able
never
to
meet
cook.
the expectation.
But her cook, that dish is really good, and she does a lot of other dishes as well, including very simple choy sum. She has some pieces of meat there, and it tastes so lovely. And one thing I when I became a Christian, I was just about 15 years old, and I remember telling my mom, I'm not going to eat all this food that you have offered to the idols. Yeah. And I just told my mom, just fry 2 eggs for me, and with Marmite, that's good enough. But mother be mother, she will make sure that I have more than the 2 eggs and a Marmite and rice. She will always set aside food for me. And so at every time during Chinese New Year or some festival, she will tell me, this dishes you cannot eat. This one is for me. And
So
I look at it, what's the difference? All she did was she
just set it aside.
set it aside, she buy extra, and so I enjoy her cooking. And I must say one more thing about mom. Even though I sort of already grown older, married with children, to her I'm still a young child. Each time I visit her and come back, I have to call her back to say I've arrived safely back in Kuala Lumpur. And then I know what she's going to tell me. Have your bath early and go to sleep early. This is the mother's love. Mother's love. Yeah, I'm so glad that even though she had been a widow for 40 odd years, she finally, at her late 70s, became a believer, became a Christian, and we all went down to her hometown to witness her baptism. And that is the thing that enlightens me and really gladdened my heart a lot that my mom is a believer.
Amen.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle Stephen.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Now, when it comes to my children, of course, I've never been a father until Samuel came along. And when I held Samuel for the first time in my arms and see that this is my son, I can't describe the feeling, it was overwhelming. Yeah, it was an overwhelming feeling. Indeed, it was. Then the other one that struck me was the time when Samuel graduated. And I saw him on stage there receiving his degree or the certificate. And it was a very proud moment for me that I also, in a sense, passed on the legacy from my parents to my children. Now, the same, of course, happened to Doria when she graduated. But Doria came across a little bit differently because there was a stage in their lives when they lost their mother. And I was a house husband. And I think brothers and men will generally agree with me that men are not made to look after the house. And I was busy one day doing some tinkering in the house, and I forgot that I had to fetch Doria from her kindergarten, or from her school. I think it was primary school or yes, primary school at that point in time. So when I finally remembered, I think I was at least half an hour late, and it was in the evening. And when I reached the school, there wasn't a soul in the whole school except for Doria alone, and she was crying, clinging onto the bed, to her back, and crying. And I just ran to her and hugged her and said, your dad is here. So, that was something that really stuck to me. And I realized how important it is for children to have that sense of love or security in their parents. And I pray that, the same will be true for the young generation, that they will learn to appreciate their parents, and that they, in turn, when they become parents, that they will offer that sense of love, security to their own children. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Not at all. It's great. It's great to be able to share some old memories.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, has anything about your life changed after you yourself became a parent?
I would say there's a lot of changes because when our bachelor, of course, life is always free and easy. We don't, in army especially. We always have a gang of boys together. But since marriage comes in, I think when children comes in, we have a sense of responsibility to ensure that they are guided properly and that they may grow up as a children of God, most important, and also to fear God. I think that is the thing. The responsibility is very heavy. Okay, especially as for myself, my wife passed away when my children are still very young. Right? Very, very young. The youngest was only 2 years old. So I think there is a heavy responsibility to ensure that they grow up.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what was the thing that really motivated you to push through? Because you mentioned it's a very heavy responsibility, right? What really motivated you, or what made you carry on?
Yeah, because you were tend to have a pity on our children when they lost their mom at a very young age. And I was very fortunate because my mom is still around. Again, being a grandparent, she also take on the responsibility to bring them up. Because me in the military, we moves around every 2-3 years, right? So they didn't actually stay with me, but I will make an effort every evening, night. I will talk to them, each and every one of them. Okay. And whenever I'm home, we always have a family altar. We pray together, from young. And make them, everybody to pray, to read the verse, story time like that, biblical story time. I think that is a very good foundation for children.
Okay. Okay, thank you for answering your questions.
Welcome.
Hi, DYG. I was wondering if I could just ask you a question.
Yes.
Has anything about your life really changed after becoming a mother?
Oh yes, many changes.
Like what?
Okay, first I lost my freedom.
Oh.
I just couldn't do what I wanted to do. I wanted to sleep in late. Tak boleh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then another one is my whole lifestyle changed. When no more late nights. Okay, and then when we wanted to go out, it was very troublesome. I have to take 2 bags with me. My handbag and the baby's bag. You know what is inside the baby's bag? Milk powder, milk bottle, and diapers.
Yeah.
And mind you, in those days, I think disposable diapers were very expensive. We couldn't afford it. You know what we use? Have you seen this before?
It's just like a towel?
Yeah, but this is the cloth diaper.
Oh.
I have to use that.
Oh.
And just imagine, one day I have to change 6 times.
Oh.
Change the baby when it's wet, change 6 times. And washed 6 times. With my hands,
Yeah.
They didn't have a washing machine yet.
I can imagine. It must have been very tiring.
Oh dear, that's how the changes were. It's terrible. That was when they were babies, But when they were older, was another change. This time I changed from a mild person, my whole personality changed. I became
Oh.
very fierce. If I'm not fierce, they won't listen to me. I have to be very loud. If I'm not loud in the kitchen and they're fighting outside, I have to shout at them. So I have to be very loud, very impatient, nervous sometimes. And it's really very, very challenging. But after all this being said, I think it is very rewarding too. When I have challenges and difficult times, I have God to go through. I seek help and guidance from God. And then in desperation, I prayed, and there was help, you see. So whatever it is, actually, my children were God's precious gift to me. And I really enjoyed them. Despite in between all the challenges and all the hardship, they really brought me a lot of joy and pleasure to be their mother.
That's wonderful.
So it is really, really rewarding. In the end, now as a grandmother, I look back, it's so rewarding.
It's worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. What you want?
Well, we're doing questions, and we're going to ask you. I'm going to ask you a question for a video that we're making up for Parents' Day. Okay. So, what is one thing or anything about your life that changed after becoming a parent?
This question, I think, involves every young mothers. It's not easy. Change in the sense that our focus is more on our children instead of on ourselves. So, God wisdom, we hope to bring them up as loving, as caring, and God-fearing children.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Auntie King Wai.
What did you say?
My name. Thank you.
And that's it for today. So the Endless Ignition meets every Sunday at around 11:20 a.m. at this address up here.
And please give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe and hit the notification down below. And right next to the subscribe button, please comment down what you would like to see in the future or interested in.
And for more details about other activities related to Bandar Ujung Gospel Center, please check out the website in the description below.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.